Oh. Hello, it is Monday, and this is a weekly reading vlog. So as you can hear and probably see from my beautiful demeanour, I have woken up sick. So I said at the end of last week's vlog that I was feeling rough and that I hoped it was just going to go away overnight. It has not gone away. And I feel like crap. I've just finished editing this week's vlog and I'm waiting on it exporting. Not been up for very long. Well, actually I have. It's like 20 to 5 and I've been up since about 10:30. So I've got a horrible headache. My throat is swollen and really horrible. My mouth feels dry despite the fact that I've been drinking loads, and generally just muscle ache everywhere. I've been coughing and it feels really difficult to breathe. Like, not like in a I'm worried sort of way, but in like a, you know, when you've got a cold or a flu or something like that. That's where I am. So this is going to be a fun week. I don't know if we'll actually get anything done. I do plan on reading Tall, Dark and Hungry. So we shall see. I might end up just ended up watching loads of stuff on YouTube and stuff like that. Catch up with I actually finished Two Broke Girls and Teen Wolf and stuff. All the things I've been saying that I'm gonna watch. And then watched nothing last month because I read 31 books. But hey. I am just feeling miserable right now, so apologies for this. But unfortunately, this is life. This isn't even my ADS. Like, this is a infection that somebody's given me. So thanks for that. In this post-COVID world, if you're gonna go out in public and you're not well, can you please just wear a mask? Or just don't go out. Like, if you have to go out, please at least just wear a mask so that other poor people like me don't end up getting ill. Like, that's all I'm asking. I will be bunkering down in the house and curling into a ball and wishing for sleep this week, I think. Hello, it's Tuesday. I'm feeling a little bit better than I was this morning. I had a rough night. And unfortunately so did Kay, because I was snoring quite badly because my throat is so swollen that I'm struggling to breathe. So yeah, we both had rough nights. I feel like I'm on fire, kind of permanently, which is fun. I'm feeling a bit better now because my painkillers have kicked in, brought my temperature down a bit, and the general aches and pains have kind of gone away. Not gone away, but like, you know what I mean. I did stop reading last night because I was unable to sleep because of the pain and the temperature and things like that. So I got most of the way through Tall, Dark and Hungry. I actually only have like 8 to 8 pages left, so I will, you can't see, I will finish that today, hopefully. I'm currently watching some YouTube while I just, like, my head is so sore, so I've had to put my glasses on. Because my muscle, like, I don't know what it is, if it's like my muscles and my eyes aching so much that my glasses are helping, but I've had to put my glasses on, which is not like me. And yeah, I'm just feeling like crap. I was watching some vlogs and shedding some hair, apparently. I keep pulling so much hair off myself. Like, I'm gonna end up bald at this stage. I have not been keeping very hydrated, which is probably a problem. I have had 2 cups of tea and some toast, and it's like 4 o'clock in the afternoon, so I should probably eat or drink some more, but it's just so much, like, I'm so tired. I'm so fatigued. Like, I'm not tired, like I could sleep tired, but like, you know, when your body just will not do anything, and it's annoying because it's different from my EDS, because I can kind of work around my EDS because I'm used to it, but this is just like everything just aches, so that's fun. But yeah, I'm gonna finish watching some YouTube, then get on to read my book. I'm not running sprints tomorrow because if this is day 2, day 3 is probably gonna be worse, which is fun. I really hope I'm gonna be able to film a video for Friday. I know what video I want to film. It's not going to be a long video, and I know I shouldn't push myself, but I'm going to be really annoyed if I can't get a video up for Friday. I could switch some things around and release my genre recommendation part 2 instead, so we shall see how I'm feeling, and I might just do that. I suppose you'll know before I do, because, well, not before I do, you'll know right now if the video's gone up on Friday, because you'll be seeing this a week today, next Tuesday, and obviously Friday is before that, so yeah. I'm gonna go. Hamish has not let me out of his sight. Like, he's been watching me like a hawk, and it's really cute. Good evening. It is now almost midnight on Tuesday, and I finished Tall, Dark and Hungry. I only did 8 pages, so I knew I was gonna finish it. Didn't have that much left. But I've been watching YouTube and playing games on my phone all day because I just feel rough. Still, I just feel like it's horrible. I can't breathe. I just feel horrendous. And I started A Bite to Remember. This is Vincent, who I'm sure I spoke about, because he's in Tall, Dark and Hungry. This is about Vincent, who is the cousin of the siblings in the last 4 books. So Vincent has been having a string of bad luck to the point where it's like, actually no, somebody's sabotaging him. So he's what they called? He runs an entertainment company that does plays and things, and his plays have all been having accidents. So the first one, a can of paint got knocked over all over the costumes. Nobody even knows why the paint was there. Then the next 2, the places caught fire, and the first one only ruined their set. The second one ruined their set and their costumes. Then actors started falling ill, or like one fell down the stairs, one had a piece of equipment drop on her. Then there was contagious anemia, which obviously isn't a thing. Then people have just started to quit. Like, the actors have all just been quitting with no reasoning as to why. So Bastian, who is obviously the one in the last book, Bastian has called in Jackie. I said Vicky in my last vlog. I thought her name was Vicky. It's not, it's Jackie. Jackie and Tiny, who are a PI team. Jackie's dad owned the company, so it's now Jackie's company since he died. And Tiny is her partner, and Tiny, as you can imagine, is a massive guy. Like, he's like 6 foot odds, but like a brick shit house. But is like a tiny. She says Jackie says that she feels like he's like got a tiny woman inside him because he loves to cook, and she said it matches up with her well because her dad always said she was a tiny woman with a giant man's attitude, so they're kind of like the opposites. And they're there to investigate and find out what's happening, who's trying to sabotage Vincent. And yeah. Obviously, they end up together because that's how romance book goes. And, oh my god, my arms are absolutely killing me. And I finally got my wedding ring back on. Like, it's still slightly too tight. But that's not, like, I literally couldn't get it past, like, here before. So, the swelling has started to go down, which is amazing. Absolutely amazing. I might not wear it at night, but I'm going to wear it as much as I can just to get used to it again. Yeah, I'm going to go because my arms are so sore right now. I just can't hold up the phone any longer. I've just come to a section of the book that I want to share with you. This is Jackie talking about Tiny, because he's gone and he's making them food. The man had changed into cream-coloured joggers and maroon slippers and was wearing the I'm the cook apron again. He was 6 feet 7 inches and 280 pounds of domesticity, running about the kitchen in a pink apron and floured oven mitts. I love Tiny. And yes, he does get his own story later on. Unfortunately, it's a novella, not a novel, so it's not as chunky, but it's still nice that he gets to join the ranks. Tonight is the night of updates. It's nearly 3 in the morning. I've losing my voice, but I've just finished A Bite to Remember. I still really enjoy this one. It's such an interesting sort of romance with mystery in it, because they're trying to figure out who's sabotaging Vincent. I was going to say Victor. Victor's his dad, Vincent. And it opens up the next story, which is, or not necessarily the next story, it starts Marguerite's story, because she's going to go over to Europe to try and figure out who Christian's mother is. But I think Thomas is next, or maybe Lucian. I think it's Lucian, then Thomas, then Marguerite, and Lucian's story ends and as Marguerite goes missing, and then Thomas's story is throughout the time that they're looking for Marguerite in Europe, and then Marguerite's story goes back to the start from when she goes to Europe, like basically from the end of this, and goes through that entire timeline of what happened in Europe, which I really enjoy, because things happen, obviously. But yeah, I really like this. I love the fact that this, like, so when you get the nanos, it takes you to your peak health. And Jackie is like, I'm still like 15-20 pounds heavier than I should be, and Marguerite's like, no you're not. And she's like, well, you're thinner than me. Marguerite's like, no, I'm not. It's just that beauty standards have twisted the way Jackie looks at herself, and that she was always perfect. I love the diversity they have in these characters. Like, nobody's ever seen as inferior, regardless. Like, there's characters later on where, sorry for my voice, there's characters later on where their life mates are like in their 70s and stuff, and she's like, oh, like, I'm a horrible old woman, like, how can you be attracted to me? And he's like, are you kidding? You're gorgeous, you're wonderful, like, how could I not love you? And it's just like, yes, like, yes. And not all the, like, Vincent, for example, Vincent isn't a big muscly man. I mean, he's like 6'4", but the Arjunas tend to be quite a tall family, which is like one of the other guys that's in this is like 5'10", and then like the female characters, you've got like Lee, for example, who's in Lucian's story. She's like 5'2", Jackie's 5'10". Sam, in one of the other stories, is again really tall but really, really thin. Turns out there was an issue with her, with something that the doctors hadn't picked up on, but she had a chronic condition that the doctors kept saying, no, your blood work's fine, your blood work's fine. So, like, there's so much, like, the more I read this, the more sort of rep that keeps, like, trickling in. I love it. It makes sense, because I'm pretty sure the author has a psychology degree, so she thinks of things like this, because this was written in like 2005, 2006. She had a whole bunch of them, and then like released them. Yeah, 2006. This was published. So the rep, especially for back then, is top tier, and it's something I never noticed before. It's quite diverse, and I really like it. It becomes more diverse the longer it goes on. She adds like LGBT characters, not as the main characters, but there are side characters where their life mate is, which is a fated mates thing. Their life mate is a man, like it's two men, and nobody questions it. Like none of the immortals question it. They're like, cool, like that's just how it is. The mortals are kind of like, wait a minute. The immortals are like, yeah, what's wrong with that? I'm like, well, I guess nothing really, but it just surprised me. It's like, shouldn't. So yeah, I love that. I love that things like that are just a non-issue with it. There's no, as far as I'm aware, there's no trans characters been in it so far. There's been gay and bi characters, but none, like I say, as main characters, although I think some of the main characters might have been bi. And the latest one, Stephanie's story, gets to a whole new plane of like crazy, because he's the love interest is like spliced genetics from like, there's like a mad scientist that appears later on, and he's been taking genes from different animals and humans and immortals and splicing them together to create these children, and her life mate ends up being one of these children, although he's not the guy's in it, like I think he's in his 90s or something, but like he was a child when he was created is what I mean. And he's got wings for a start, like he's got all these different genetics inside him that have given him all these different features. So he's got like really good night vision from like a hawk, he's got wings from something else I can't remember, but he's basically like a chimera, and it's really, really interesting. That's where it tips more into the, like, it's already like sci-fi fantasy, but that's where it really gets going, and that's like 36 books in, so I'm gonna go to bed. I've been trying to stay up as long as I can to let Kate sleep, because I'm not sleeping great and I'm keeping her up and I feel bad, so she wouldn't be happy if she knew that I was trying to stay up so that she could sleep, so I'm gonna go to bed and just hope that I don't keep her awake tonight again. But I need to take some painkillers and then I can go to sleep, hopefully. Hello, it's Wednesday, and as you can hear, I'm sounding a little bit better. At least I do to my ears. I don't know about to your ears. I'm feeling a lot better than I was. I'm definitely not back to normal, but I'm better than I was yesterday, which is good. It is 11:15, and I've yet to pick up a book. I decided today that I was going to start my poison study vlog. Then I haven't picked up anything, and then decided I was going to read Bite Me If You Can instead. So that's where we are. I'm about to start Bite Me If You Can. So this is Lucian and Lee. And I was wrong in what I said earlier, so I just finished Vincent's story, Vincent and Jackie, and this is Lucian and Lee, and then it's Victor and Elvie, and then it's Thomas and Inez, and then it is Marguerite and Julius. So I missed out Victor. I forgot about Victor.
because I remember after this one, Lucian goes, like at the end of The Accidental Vampire, which is Victor's story, Lucian turns up and says, Marguerite's missing, we need to go find her. And then Thomas, at the start of his story, is going to Europe to find Marguerite. Because Thomas is actually a cinnamon roll. Even though to his cousins, he is very, very annoying. Like, the older ones don't have the respect for the younger ones, so because he's only 200 years old, the Bastien and Lucerne, who are 600 and 400? Yeah. Bastien's 400 and something, and Lucerne's 600 and something. So, because they are so much older than him, they don't really have any respect for him. And he amps that up by being, like, talking like a surfer dude to them, just to wind them up, which is really funny to watch. But he's actually got... I love Thomas as a character. He is possibly one of my favourite characters ever. He's just so... I love Thomas. I'll talk about him more when I read his book. But this is kind of turning into, like, Lindsay Sands vlog. Oops. But yeah, Bite Me If You Can is about Lee and Lucerne. Lee and Lucian. Lucian is the patriarch of the Argino family. He is Marguerite's brother-in-law and all her children's uncles. And then all the other younger ones generally tend to be his nieces and nephews because his other siblings. So Victor, there's Lucian and Jean-Claude were twins. And then there's... I actually have... Wait a minute. Why am I trying to do this from memory? So, we have a family tree. So there's Lucian and Jean-Claude were twins. And as we know, Jean-Claude has died years before. This, it says 1935. I don't think that's... well, obviously it's accurate, the author. But the way it's talked about in... Luciana's story, it makes it seem like it was much more recent than that, because Luciana's story happens in the year 2000, and that's like 65 years later. I don't think she would have waited maybe she would have waited 65 years. Time is different for them, so I don't know. Anyway, so Lucian and Jean-Claude were twins, and then you've got identical twins, and then you've got Martine, who has had two husbands and has 7 children. So there's Raphael, Darius, and Cale, who we see in later books. Decker, Elspeth, Juliana, and Victoria. Juliana and Victoria are twins who are in Luciana's story. Elspeth is their older sister. Again, we see all them in later stories. We have not had a Juliana and Victoria story yet. Armand is then the next youngest, who is Thomas's and Jean-Louise's dad, and then you've got Victor, who is Vincent's dad. And then obviously we've got Marguerite and Jean-Claude had Lucerne, Bastien, Etienne, and Greg. No. And Luciana. So that's the family tree as we have it just now. And I mean, because we get a story for Lucian, we get a story for Marguerite, we get one for... I don't know if I've had Raphael yet, I don't think so. I think Darius and Cale. Cale definitely has his own story, because there's one bit where she's like, Cale, like the vegetable, and he's like, with a C. Decker, we get Elspeth, I don't think I've had yet. I don't remember. Juliana and Victoria, we have not had yet, so hopefully that'll be next. Lucerne, Bastien, Etienne, Luciana, I've got stories. Vincent, obviously, Thomas, and I believe Jean-Louise also has a story as well. So, yeah, I love these characters, I love this family. It just expands from there, and like they're friends and more cousins and things like that. So, I love it so much. But yeah, I'm going to stop rambling at you and start this. And I really do like this one, because Lucian is such a closed down character. Like, he survived the fall of Atlantis and lost his life mate and his daughters millennia, like a millennia ago. Literally, he was born in 1534 BC, and he lost his daughters somewhere between that and meeting him and John Claude meeting Marguerite in 1265. So, or before that anyway. So he had already lost his family and became a recluse after that. Became not necessarily a recluse, but he felt responsible for Marguerite after Jean Claude died, and all of her kids. Had always felt responsible for her kids and his other nieces and nephews and family members because he was the head of the family, really. And he's taken that responsibility on in such a way that he has closed himself off from everybody. He shows no emotions. Luciana is the first one to basically tell him off in years. Like, they're all terrified of him. Absolutely terrified. He is like the badass. He is the head of the council for America. He is the guy that decides that people will be staked out in the sun for a week or a day. Staked out in the sun for a day and then beheaded at sunset. Like, he is the guy that busts into nests of rogue vampires and beheads with impunity. He is the guy that, like, he is the cold-hearted ancient warrior type, and he acts like he doesn't have a heart when the truth is he probably has the biggest heart of all of them because he has taken on everybody. He has taken them on his shoulders, taken them into his heart, and he has made it his sole mission in life to protect his family. Whether that means his family hate him because he has to be so strict. He's like, I don't care, as long as you end up okay. And I think some of them know that, but the others don't, and getting to see him through Lee's eyes as Lee falls in love with him, and how much he cares for Luciana, his niece, especially since she ends up naming her baby after him, which is just the sweetest thing. Like, oh. And then, he's such a good person, but he's so close off. And we all know I love men like that, like in books. I love getting to see, like, these men become, like, it was like when I was talking about the American Roommate Experiment. You see this character who is like the manly man. He's a man's man, and yet he is in pain and he is mentally not doing great. And we get to see his journey of healing and see that it's okay that he has that journey. And like, if I tell you, if Lucian Arjuna can do it, any man can do it. Because this man, he is like I say, he was born in 15 something, like BCE, before current era, like pre, like it's 2023 now. He was born in 1534 BCE, so like 1500 years, then another 2000. You know, so he's like over 3,000. Woo. Dang, he's old. Oh my god. Anyway, I'm going to stop. This is already like 10 minutes long. And I'll update you later.
Hello, it is Thursday, and I am editing the video that hopefully you will see tomorrow if it stops playing the full. But I just wanted to come on because I received book mail. I did order this. It was a next day delivery. I'm going to take these out because they're just going to get caught. And yeah, I just wanted to unbox this on my vlog because it's something I'm quite excited about, to be honest. And it was only £4. Ooh, it's got a cover. This is A Brief History of Black Holes and Why Nearly Everything You Know About Them Is Wrong by Dr. Becky Smethurst. I've been watching Dr. Becky's YouTube channel and I am obsessed with her YouTube channel, so I wanted to get her book. It's just a black hardcover. So yeah, this is the one that she has sitting in the back of quite a lot of her videos. And this is, she is a, I should probably say, she is a astrophysicist who predominantly studies black holes. So this should be interesting. I've been, like, I was on an archaeology kick for ages and I've got loads of archaeology books in my TBR. And now I'm on a bit of an astrophysics kick, so this is going to be a really interesting to read. I love this. Like, this is so beautiful. So beautiful. But yeah, I just wanted to show you that. Like I say, I am currently editing a video that is playful with me while I'm trying to edit. So wish me luck with that. This is attempt number 3 to edit it. I still feel like crap, but as you can see, I've had a shower and my voice is a lot better because my throat is not as swollen. So hopefully this is true recovery and not one of those ones where you feel better and then the next day you feel like death. So we shall see.
I forgot how much I loved Lucian as a character. This guy is like 3,000 years old. For 2,500? Anyway. And, Lee's husband, ex-husband, dead husband, used to beat her. And he figured it out. I mean, this was a while ago. I was laughing at the book, but I'm further through now. And, he's like, what's his name? I'll kill him. And she's like, oh, thanks for the offer, but he's already dead. And Lucian's like, in his head, he's like, she thinks I'm joking. And he was like, a way to tell her that he was being serious. And somebody's like, can I speak to you for a second? You can't tell her that you were serious about that. And he's like, why not? And they're like, because you just don't do that. He's like, fine. I won't tell her I was serious about killing her husband. But I would have. And she's like, I know you would have. Uncle Lucian, I know you would have. I love them so much. They're so funny. He's such a blunt person. I love it. He's grumpy. And she's not exactly like not grumpy, but she's kind of like, it's been like this whole book takes place over like 3 days so far. So, or 3 or 4 days so far. So that's a fast move. And then Luciana and Rachel have suggested that the boys being Lucerne, Etienne and Thomas, teach Lucian how to dance. And they come back in later on and they're teaching him to waltz. They're like, that's not what we meant. That's not what we meant. We're going to a nightclub. So yeah, I'm thoroughly enjoying this. I just love as well, like, again, the subtle discussion about body positivity. Like, they're talking about how obviously her husband abused her, and it started out with verbal abuse, calling her fat and stupid and all that. And he's like, yeah, that makes sense. And she's like, why does that make sense? He's like, well, he's hitting at your weak spots. And she's like, how did you know those are my weak spots? And he's like, well, you dropped out of Harvard, so you would feel like people would think you were stupid, even though you're not, because you dropped out to look after her grandfather when he was dying. And he was like, and all mortal women think they're fat. And she's like, what, do mortal women not? And he's like, no, how could they when they're their perfect selves? Like, Rachel thought she was going to lose a load of weight, but she didn't, because she's the perfect Rachel. Like, that's how she's meant to be. And societal determinations of what is beautiful doesn't get to determine how she looks, like how perfect she is. And the fact that Lee as well, so Lee has been turned and she thinks she should be thinner and taller, when actually, again, she's perfect. Like I say, a lot of these characters, there's so many different body types, and it's just like, there's no discussion on like how big or small someone is, except Sam, because she has like they reckon she had like a thyroid condition, because she was always really, really thin, despite how much she ate and went to the doctors and stuff. And then she gained weight when she was turned, and they were all like, yeah, we thought there was something wrong. And she's like, I know, right? Talk about doctors ignoring women. So like, that's a whole different thing. But other than that, there's so many different body types, but the nanos have looked at their genetics and decided what their optimum is, and it'll put them there regardless of what that weight might be, because, you know, we're all genetically predispositioned. Well, we've all got a genetic predisposition to be different weights, which is why some people find it really, really hard to lose weight or gain weight or stay at a stable weight. So yeah, I really enjoy this. Good afternoon. It is Friday, and I am shedding like a bloody dog. This is ridiculous. I started filming, and all of a sudden there's hair everywhere. I don't know what's happening. So yeah, I've just been chilling out watching some YouTube because I overdid it yesterday and dead today. But my throat's still not swollen. Oh god, look at my... Yeah. The signs of overdoing it. So yeah, I've been watching some YouTube. I've just done some more in the Disney Dreamlight Valley. And now my Switch's charged. I'm just about to finish this. I only have like 40 pages left. I went to bed with 40 pages left. Because I was like, reading like this. And Kay was like, I think you need to go to bed. And I was like, but I've only got 40 pages left. She was like, stop trying to read through your eyelashes. Go to bed. I was like, okay, go to bed. So of course I was KO'd completely. And then woke up because of pain. Because of overdoing it. And then realised, I had some really wacky dreams. About my ex, which was just really weird. Probably because Lee has an abusive ex that she's like the character has an abusive ex, and it just reminded me of stuff that mine used to do. And it's like, haha, trauma reliving. It wasn't even that bad. Like at one point, it said something, and I was like, you do realise I've been married to Kay for like 3 years, right? And he's like, what? Like, yeah, we've not been together for like 6-7 years. Like, what the hell? Anywho, I've also realised that I need to read this by Wednesday. So, I am gonna finish this and then go straight onto this, get this read, and then probably next week we'll start Poison Study, and if not before. So I don't know if I'm gonna do a vlog just on its own of Poison Study or not, but oh my god, the hair! I don't know if you can even see that. Like, I'm just shedding like a bloody husky. Just keep shedding. Yeah, Hamish is also chilling out. I don't think he's even awake. If he is, he's ignoring me. So yeah, I'm gonna go back to listening to some music and finish my book and check in later. Sorry for the sound of the spinning thing in the background. Also, I got these white chocolate and raspberry cookies from Tesco yesterday as a treat, and I'm telling you, put them in the microwave for like 20 seconds. But be careful because the middle is really, really hot. But oh my god. This is what happens if Kay's late home from work. He's like, where the hell do you think you are? Like, full on, like, looking out the window for her. Where is she? And he's been fed, so it's not that. He just wants to know where the hell she is. Because she's late. And none of us have told him that she's going anywhere. Because if I'd said, if he knew she wasn't coming back for some reason, I swear he doesn't look for her. Like, if I was to tell him, like if she'd said 2 in the morning, if I was to tell him now that she's away somewhere, he'd be like, alright, cool. Like, I swear to God. But no, because she's late from work, he's like, where'd you go? What is she? Hey. Is she late? Keep wait like that until she comes home. Okay, you getting ready for your tennis stick? Good paw. Good boy. Oh, good boy. Boop. Good boy. Boop. Good boy. Touch. And touch. Good boy. Take it gently. Good boy. So I'm just getting ready to go to bed. It's like 2 o'clock in the morning. And small issue. I'm gonna have to go get Kate. Good afternoon. It is Sunday. And it is the last day of the vlog. I don't know how I've been with vlogging. But here we are. So last night I managed to read up to page 100 of Friendly Donovan is Killing It. Thanks to Tori for coming on to Backstage Sprints and making me read, because I just couldn't get the motivation. So we went on Backstage Sprints. Bobby and Tori were on, and Tori was like, okay, I'm going to read this manga, and you have until I finish this manga to read your pages. So I split Finley Donovan into like chunks of 100, so like up to page 100, up to page 200, up to page 300, and then the last bit's just 55 pages, because that is 355 pages long, because I need to read it for the podcast on Wednesday. Obviously it's now Sunday, but then I also picked up this because I just wanted to read something comforting, because I've been feeling crap. My mental health yesterday was just in a pit, just in an absolute pit, because everything hit the fan and I just felt horrendous. Physically, mentally, emotionally, it just was not good. I'll be honest, it's definitely a struggle in so many more ways than you think, being disabled. It's horrendous sometimes. And today I'm in a significant amount of pain. I've got some compression stuff on, some Voltarol medication. So yeah, today is hopefully going to improve, but so far the physical pain is the worst. As for this book, I got 158 pages into this book, which is... So halfway through this would be like 180 pages, roughly, because it's 360 pages long. So I'm almost halfway through, and I could probably finish this today and do my pages of Finlay Donovan. And then next it is Thomas's story. But I can't remember what it's called. That's terrible. But it's Thomas next. This is Victor. This is Victor, who is Vincent's dad. Vincent, who was in A Bite to Remember. He has the same problem as Vincent, obviously. It's genetics, who he got it from. And it means he cannot feed off bagged blood. So he has to bite people. But he goes as an enforcer to this town called Port Henry, where a female immortal vampire has been advertising for a mate, and they're like, you can't do that. Like, number one law, do not expose us. But there's been all these rumours in the Toronto area, like club scene, and then this ad in the paper. So he goes with DJ, who's his partner, to Port Henry to find out what the hell's going on, if this is real, and if the council are going to have to deal with it. And he's not the only one who's answered this ad. There are three other, Alessandro, Harper, and Edward, who are three immortals that he knows, and they have all answered this ad, because all is fair in love and life, mates. And they just absolutely, like, this poor girl, Elvie girl, she was like 62. She was turned into an immortal, as far as she's aware, accidentally. She does not know anything about how she was turned. She just woke up and she was. And then the people of Port Henry have kind of been looking after her, because she was a stand-up citizen before she turned, and her best friends have put an ad in the paper to find her mate, so that when they all die, she won't be left alone, which is the kindest, sweetest thing, but it's also meant they've kind of exposed her. But poor Elvie has been living in a state where they've had to rely on movies and books. So she sleeps in a coffin, she doesn't eat food, she doesn't drink anything but blood, she doesn't go out in sunlight, anything like that. Doesn't go to church, like, all the things that you would think vampire, like garlic food, everything. And yet obviously, Victor and the boys know that she can do all those things. See, when she finds out she can eat, she's like, I need to get cheesecake right now. So they go flying to the store and she gets like everything and starts eating everything because she's like, I got 5 years of eating to make up for her. And it's like, fair. And then it's the same thing when she finds out they don't need to sleep in coffins. She's like, I'm sorry, what? And she's like, I need to go shopping, and goes bolting into her room. And the men all go chasing after her, like, what the hell's going on? Oh, like, she opens the door, and Victor sees her coffin, and he's like, we need to go shopping, get in the car. I love these lot. I love Alessandro. Is just so funny. He's Italian, and he's just, like, the best. Edward's a bit of a dick. He's English, and he's a bit pompous and a bit of a dick. But he's alright. And Harper's just a sweetheart. I believe Harper has a book later on. I think it's Harper. I know it's one of the boys, but I think it's Harper. I'm pretty sure it's Harper. And it's so nice being back with these characters. If nothing else, Lindsay Sands writes the best characters. Yeah, I'm going to go. I've got food in the oven. It'll probably be ready soon. I'm going to eat, read. I should probably go get Finlay Donovan. And I'm going to finish watching this YouTube video first, so. Hello and welcome to what is apparently beginning to become my favourite angle. I wonder if I should just move my webcam down. Yeah, so it is Sunday evening. It is 11:15. I finished Finlay Donovan is Killing It. I'm currently on backstage bits with Tori and Bobby. Siobhan was with us, but they had to go to bed because they're tired. But I've just finished Finlay Donovan is Killing It, and this book was so funny. We will be discussing it, me, Lisa, and Jem, on the Barely Dalton podcast. And I have so many thoughts. I've been writing them down as I go, but oh my god. If there's one thing that comes out of this book for me, it's that her ex-husband, I want to slap him in the face with a shovel. Like, full pelt, shovel, right to the face. And then maybe to the groin. I hate him. I hate him so much. And, yeah. This was such a comedy of errors again, like, but in like a, I don't know, because everything that happened was so convenient that it would never happen in real life. Like, and saying that, I've listened to some true crime stories that were just as manic as this, but this is absolutely just this whole book. It's like falling down a cliff and missing every spike. Like, it's so convenient, but it's meant to be. It's like a campy, almost parody of a mystery thriller novel, but at the same time, I wanted to know what the hell was going on. Like, I needed to know. I needed the answers. So, like, good going for El Cosimano. Kept me intrigued. 4 stars. Very happy with it. So, yeah, Jem, Lisa and I will be discussing this on the Barely Dalton podcast on Wednesday for me, but it will be at the start of the month, start of May for you. So, let me just check my dates. So we should be filming on the Wednesday, and you should be seeing it on the Monday. So yeah, please go and watch that and see your thoughts, and let me know if you read this book, because this thing was just absolutely, I don't even have the words for it. Like, I love the babysitter. I love Vera. I love her absolutely. Like, our ex-husband though, like, he makes me stabby. He makes me stabby. Okay, so I'm just gonna finish up there because, like I said, it's 11:15 at night. I might pick up The Accident Vampire now. I have just been updating all my spreadsheets and stuff. And yeah, so thanks very much for watching, and links to everything downstairs. As always, please comment if you've read any of the books I've read this week and what you thought. I mean, I've never met anybody else who's read Lindsay Sands, so I highly doubt anybody's read Lindsay Sands. But, like, Finlay Donovan, if you've read Finlay Donovan, please message me, because oh my god, that book. Oh, Finlay. Yeah. I will see you in the next one.